Hello, everyone. As the Bible reminds us to seek wisdom and understanding, today we are going to look at Bloom's taxonomy, which helps learners to grow in knowledge and higher thinking skills. Bloom's taxonomy, there are three different domains. There is the cognitive domain, the affective domain, and the psychomotor domain. But today, our focus and interest is going to be on the cognitive domain. Bloom's taxonomy, it is a framework used in education to classify learning objectives according to levels of cognitive complexity. It helps the teachers to plan lessons, questions, and assessment from simple recall to higher thinking skills. And it was developed by Benjamin Bloom in 1956 and later revised in 2001. And today we are looking at the revised Bloom's taxonomy. What do we understand by the cognitive? This is the process. This is processing information, the mental process of acquiring knowledge, understanding through thoughts, experiences, and senses, and it deals with the development of knowledge and skills. So what are the levels of Bloom's taxonomy? As we can see here, we can see there are 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So before you understand a concept, one must be able to remember it, and before a learner can apply a concept, we must be able, or she must be able to understand it. Before we analyze a concept, we must be able to apply it. So that's what it continues to the level of creating. So we are going to use an example of a tree so that it can help us see how learners move from simple naming parts to creating something new based on their own knowledge. So the first level of Bloom's taxonomy, level 1, it is remembering. And what is remembering? Remembering is the ability to recall, retrieve information, and gaining knowledge about facts or figures and basic concepts. This is the lowest of the taxonomy levels. So what are the action verbs which are used in remembering? We have so many, but we are going to give a few. So the first is define, list, name, identify, or recall. For example, we have said we are going to use a tree. So a question could be, name the parts of a tree. So a student can name roots, stems, or etc., right? Then let us go on. Then we have understanding, level 2. It is the ability to comprehend and interpret information. And at this level, learners might be asked to explain ideas or concepts in their own words or in their own understanding. Facts gathered during remembering level. So what are the action verbs used here? Explain, describe, summarize, discuss, or interpret. An example, explain the function of the roots of a tree. So the child will remember what they learned about a tree and the parts of the tree. Now she or he is going now to explain the function of a tree. Then we have the third level, applying. And applying, this is the use of information, skills in a new or different situation. And at this level, learners are supposed to use learned information and facts in new contexts and situations, or in challenges, or in the real world situations. So what are the action verbs used in applying? Solve, use, demonstrate, illustrate, apply. An example, show. A child is asked, show how a tree uses sunlight to grow. Here, a child will apply the knowledge of photosynthesis so that she may answer this question, right? So that is applying. It's using knowledge in a new situation. Then we have the fourth level, that is analyzing. Analyzing, this refers to the breaking information into parts and examining their relationships, right? So at this level, the learners are supposed to break down concepts and examine their relationships. It refers to the making conclusion and understanding on relationships between stages of a given concept. What are the action verbs used here? Compare, contrast, differentiate, examine. An example, compare a tree growing in a dry land and one that grows near a water. So here the child will look at the reasons, or the learner will look at the reasons, and she will now understand from the previous knowledge how will you compare. So she will have to look, and she will now come up with a concept about all of this. That is analyzing. Then let us go to the fifth level, evaluating. What is evaluating? Evaluating, it refers to the making judgment based on a given criteria. So, and at this level, the learners are supposed to use their knowledge and skills to appraise a situation and to also justify their stance or criticize other opinions. The action verbs here are justify, criticize, judge, or defend. An example: why do you think planting trees is important in the community? Why? So, like, you have to justify it. So, this allows learners to make judgments and give reasons. There is evaluating. Then, the sixth level, there is creating. Creating, it refers to putting elements or information to make or form a new whole. Creating new results by planning, designing, and developing the actual application. For example, it's creating something out of teaching and learning processes. For example, writing a book or creating a device that could help in the society in one way or another. And at this level, learners are supposed to combine non-patents, ideas, and facts to create original work or formulate their solutions to a problem. What are the action verbs used here? We have create, design, formulate, and develop. For example, design a poster showing the importance of planting trees. So a learner with all the understanding that she has had and the remembering all the understanding, the application, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, she will now create a poster of how the trees, name the parts of the trees, and now she will be able to now create it. This is the highest level because the learners create something new from their own understanding, from their own knowledge. What is the importance in teaching? It helps in lesson planning. So as a teacher, you will plan something at lesson with the understanding of the kids. What is their cognitive understanding, right? It helps in guiding assessment, the examination. It promotes critical thinking from the learners, and it supports the learner-centered teaching. So a student who has not had it all, the teacher will come to that student so that he or he can understand and help the teacher, the learner, so that she can be on the same level with the others. This is supporting the learner-centered teaching. How can we conclude? We'll conclude that Bloom's taxonomy helps teachers to move learners from a simple knowledge recall to a higher order thinking and creativity. It's an important tool in modern teaching and learning. And right now, as you can see, even I think right now you understand all these levels and you see the importance of them in our curriculum. I hope you have understood, and I hope I'll see you in the next lesson where we understand the other two domains of the Blooms, right? Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel and have a blessed time.